Welcome to Cozying Up with the Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Today, we are sitting down with Zara Terez Tisch. She is the founder of Terez, a lifestyle and activewear company that inspires positivity. We had a really great and candid conversation about the realities of running and starting your own business and how to spread joy and positivity across the world. Check it out. Welcome to Cozying Up with the Clear Cut, where we get up close and personal with women that inspire us. Today, I'm super excited to have Zara Terez Tisch. She's the founder of Terez. They are an activewear lifestyle brand. And you said it best, just celebrating the good.
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much, Olivia, for having me. It's funny. It's like, you could say however you want, Zara. I grew up on Long Island. So when people like to make me sound more exotic than I am. Mm-hmm. So they say Zara, but it's actually like that long, whiny accent, Zara.
Zara, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's totally, so Zara Terez Tisch. Terez is my middle name, but yes, I created the brand to create an environment to connect people. And truly what it's about is celebrating the good parts of life, the small, the big. All of us, you, myself, have all been through different types of darkness and traumatic moments in our life. And in order to get through it, you have a choice. And it's incredible to align with people and find the positive and find the good. Mm-hmm. And we've all been through it. And so if we can connect and make the choice to choose good, that is what Terez stands for. That's what we're about. That is our mission, our message, and our clothes are merely a medium to provide our messaging.
So when you were younger, did you always, dream or aspire to be like a founder, designer? Like, what did you think that you would be being?
No, I thought I was going to be a Broadway actress. Okay. I was going to be a star on Broadway. That's what I wanted to be. My father was a garmento. Do you know what that is?
Yeah. So working in clothing, like in the garment industry.
Yeah. No, yes. I mean, yes. Yeah. So, some people know that term, some they don't. So, in the 70s and 80s is when manufacturing in New York City was really bustling, creating dresses and all different types of clothing. And so I grew up in a household where he had a women's dress company.
Is that like in Mrs. Maisel? Do you watch that?
I do. It's like Mrs. It's funny. Yes, it is like Mrs. Maisel. It's like Mrs. Maisel. So yeah, exactly. When what's her husband? Joel's father. Yeah, that's my dad.
Okay, cool.
His name Richie. You call him Mr. C. But yes, this is what he did. My mother, before I was born, actually, she would create high-end accessories, like with her hands, barrettes and all different things. And before I was born, she closed her business, but she would sell to higher-end places. So like Henry Bendel that was open, and Bergdorf Goodman. So he sold low-end, she sold high-end. I, as I was saying, wanted to be like an actress and a star. Mm-hmm. And, my parents supported me through that always, and everything that I wanted to do. I was involved in a lot. And as I was mentioning before, right before my freshman year of college, I had a traumatic event happen in my life where my high school boyfriend passed away. Wow. And along with his friends, and I needed to understand what that meant right there and then, because until that moment you don't understand that you really aren't invincible. Yeah. And what life actually means. And at that I started to I didn't know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't know what my life was going to look like. Up until that point, as I said, I knew what I wanted to be. I was going to go to school for different things. I was, everything. I was very lucky and fortunate to come from a loving, supportive family. But then everything changes.
Yeah.
Your whole life in a second changes. And then it happened again with my college boyfriend as well.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And so, and then after college, that he passed away after college. But you start to realize that we have one life.
Yeah.
And my mother used to always say, the wheel goes round and round. Sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. And it was at that moment and during all of these different dark experiences that I started to practice how to look at positivity and use that as my light. And it's, believe me, it's easier said than done. It's a practice that I do every single day, even now. And I felt, and after college, I had met people, I had gone through it. I had a wonderful support system. I was working for Marquis Jet, which was a private jet company, in their subsidiary division called MGX Lab, where we would do marketing for all of their clients, their high-end clients. So we were branding. So this is I graduated college in 2007. So this is the era of the Jonas Brothers, and we did stuff for Muhammad Ali and Tom Brady. And I needed to do something. I felt, and it's not until later in life that you start to see some clarity as to why you do the things that you do. But at that time, I needed to create something. I didn't know what it was, but as I had mentioned, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I come from people, I was always in the plays. I did all, in student council, all of the, I was always involved. I always wanted to create something. I just didn't know this was what it would be. And I wanted to create a place that I thought would make me happy, and I thought in turn other people happy as well. And it just so happened to start with leather handbags with really fun interiors.
Cool.
And it took a while, but and in 2012 is when that really fancy term pivoted, where we I ended up taking our linings out and creating our first leggings. And I realized at that point that I was hiding my truest self inside. So everything is about experience. Everything takes time and is really an evolution.
And so from when you pivoted from the handbags to clothing, what was that transition like for you? How did you make that decision? Was it the right decision? Do you I don't know. What were your thoughts?
It was definitely the right decision, but it was a specific moment, actually. It was people ask, what is your aha moment? And we actually had an aha moment. For years, we would, I would try and sling my bags, everywhere, trunk shows here or there. I did QVC, we would try to do trunk shows, and we would do trade shows. So what it's like in jewelry to do trade shows, and for clothing and accessories, it's similar. And you go to the shows at the Javits Center, these big things, and you make a beautiful booth, and then you sit there and you pray to anybody that will listen that somebody will come by. It's true, right?
Yeah.
That anybody would come by and write anything, And for years, and my best friend from growing up, she worked with me and partnered with me at the time. And, we would play customer, because if you have somebody sitting in your booth, it attracts other people to come. They're like, oh, well, if that person has it, then somebody else must have it. So, we would write, $10,000 POs. They were fake, but we would do that. But
That's smart.
it was a struggle, and we would get a little bit of customers. So at the end of 2011, I think it was, or the beginning of 2012, I don't remember exactly the trade show. I should know at this point since I talk about it so much. I just don't remember the exact date. But I was like, okay, this is our trade show. Our collection has never been as amazing as it is right now. My parents at the time, my dad had gone back into business to try and make some money. So he was doing like dresses for tweens. And so in the meantime, to keep cash flowing, I ended up making little pencil cases out of our linings and selling it to all of the kids' stores that he sold to. And so like I had all of this, some product that I was, made sure to keep afloat, which is, wonderful. And at this trade show, I was like, okay, I have this beautiful collection. We're gonna display it, like this, and it's gonna be great. And this is the inspiration and all of this. And I was like, this is our time. And on the table, I put a little basket because I had all of these extra pencil cases and all fun, gorgeous linings, because that was the linings of our bags. And I threw them in the center just as add-ons. And started the show. And during this particular show, like, as I said, we never had people come. There was a gentleman that walked into our booth, and you could tell, by the way he was dressed that he was important, that this was somebody. And he looks around and he goes like, he's like, and then he goes into the basket and he's like, what is this? I said, oh, these are just like linings of the bags. He goes, this is amazing. I said, excuse me? I said, what? I said, look at all of these beautiful leather bags that are here. He's like, no, this is energy. This is you. This is like, he's like, we need these. I was like, yes, you do. Who are you? And he was the DMM of all Neiman Marcus stores.
Wow.
And the head of fashion buying at DMM. And he's like, this is unbelievable. And I was jaw dropped. And then right after that, the buyer of Urban Outfitters came in. They also wanted the pouches with all of the colors for theirs. And then there was also on the side, there was a backpack. They were like, where did you get that backpack? And I said, I made it. And it was a backpack that I had hand splattered. And they said, we want these and we want 500 of those. I'm no joke.
Wow.
Like, this stuff doesn't happen. And I was like, huh. And you're thinking to yourself, what the hell? What were you doing wrong? And then a Japanese distributor came. They also wanted the pouches. So, full circle to the beginning of our conversation, I realized at that point that we were hiding our truest self inside the bags. And I'd always been a very loud and boisterous and happy person. You just don't know, right? And it takes time to build the confidence and to realize your full potential and, to make sure that other people are going to like the same things that you do. And when you're starting a business, you do need to understand your why, but it might not be fully baked. Right. And it might take time for it to be fully baked. But if you can continue to have, that reasoning why you're starting it to begin with, which is about joy and happiness and knowing that you need to be persistent and and are tenacious, like that is what's going to keep you going and drive you continuously.
So what inspires you to like create your designs? Because I know that they're all really colorful, fun. I have a bunch of the sets. Actually, the set that I wear the most is like this black sweatsuit with like stars on it, but I wear it every time I go on an airplane travel. Like
it's a great airplane outfit. I think
like Kyle's like, I left it once like behind. I was like, I have to go back and grab it. It's my like outfit. And he's like, I know you always wear that outfit. Like you got to go back and get it. So I like ran back on the plane. I was like, I forgot my sweater.
Well, I mean, that's devastating. I have to say that is actually devastating.
Your products are like so fun, colorful, and even and comfortable. So when you got that aha moment, we're like, okay, this is like how I'm gonna start. How did you decide, like what inspired you to continue creating, get into like the different categories?
And why like leggings, right? So the linings that we were using actually were spandex linings to begin with. And the reason for that was, which actually goes and defines the story, but when I was searching for linings and I would go up and down the streets of the garment center, the only windows that spoke to me were the ones that were colorful and vibrant. Those are only the spandex windows.
Yeah.
So that's where I would go in. That's where I would get my cuts from. And my manufacturers despised it because when you're working with leather, you can't have something that is stretching at the same time. But I didn't care. Like, that's what we were doing. So clearly, that is something that I always wanted to do. I was working with my best friend. We would wear the things that we wanted to wear, and we would wear leggings every single day. We were comfortable wearing that. It was mostly, American Apparel at the time.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, and I never wanted to go into ready to wear because I was like, I don't want to do sizing. Like, accessories is one size fits all. Like, once you go into sizing, you can't ever come back. But for some reason, I was like, we could do leggings because I was like, leggings, it's the ultimate accessory. We'll just stop at leggings.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. We'll do leggings, and that'll be it. And we found this print that was a galaxy print. We called it the Universe, and 5 other prints as well. And we launched with a 6 capsule collection, and for kids and for juniors, like how we were at the time. I guess we were young women, but I wanted to be like a junior. I wasn't a junior. And we went to the kids show, and I was like, this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to wear them. And I wore the leggings, and there was a few stores. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lester's. Have you ever heard of Lester's? There's a store, Lester's. There's one in New York City, in Greenville, in Rye. They had a new buyer, and she came up and she saw me wearing it, and she saw it had a teeny little booth, like literally the size, like the width of that mirror over there, full of color. And that's not what people were used to. And she's like, this is fresh. This is new. And we shipped them these leggings on the weekend of Thanksgiving in 2012, and they sold out that weekend.
Wow.
No one had ever seen anything like that. And it didn't matter at that point what we had put on, our leggings, everybody just wanted it. And so immediately I was like, we need to make our own prints. I'm not buying prints. And so searched, found people, taught myself how to do Photoshop, I didn't go to school for this, took pictures of things, took photo of jelly beans, and we created then jelly beans, which was photo real. And that was the first time people ever wore photo real on their pants. So it was really being inspired by the world of joy around us. And we ended up so it was February 2013, making the first piece of emoji apparel that ever existed. And I mean, I know that's bizarre to say, but it's true. There didn't exist. And how it existed was I took my phone, I typed out all of the emojis that were on it at that time, and then I take a screenshot. Yeah, you could take a screenshot of it. And I worked with this printer that I had in the spandex, and people could not believe, they thought that was genius. I was like, yeah, it was good. And then it became a very big trend at that point. So, a lot of things have evolved. The way that we work now is I am very much inspired by my past and how I grew up and my family and my friends. But we have a concept for every single collection, and we derive our inspiration from there and from art all over the place.
What, I know sometimes it can be demanding to create or come up with new ideas or new concepts.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's it can be really challenging.
Yeah.
So what do you do to continue to be just as excited and inspired with, I know there's deadlines, you have to come out with a new collection, so you're pushed to create something, but how do you deal with that balance?
One is, I don't believe in balance. I believe that something is always going to fall, and if you can be comfortable with that, that is where the secret lies. But I think you're absolutely right. It is extraordinarily challenging and exhausting, pumping out new ideas all the time. That being said, I am somebody that loves to learn. I'm somebody that appreciates art and culture and different people and reminiscing about the past. And I think that it's hard, but when you sit and you take time and you try to make sure that you carve out that time, I think your calendar is everything. I live by my calendar.
Me too.
I have 3 kids. I have 3 dogs. My husband and I both have our own companies. We work full time. I like to say I'm a full-time mom and a full-time CEO. You can ask Chelsea, like I'm with my kids back and forth during the day and running the company. Like I operate the company.
How do you do that? Because I would like to learn
It's impossible.
from you. Because right now, like, I'm like, how could I possibly have a kid? Because this business is my kid. Like, I have no time for myself or anything else. So how do you do all of that?
You always, the hard part, the hard truth is your self goes really like off the cliff. But you try to keep it going. So how do you do it? One is don't feel bad asking for help or paying for help. Like I am so fortunate and privileged to be able to have women that help me take care of my children. The reason that it allows me to be so present in their life and out, it's, and be able to go out when I can. What you need to do is communicate. And I know that's a very broad term, but communication, creating a team that supports you and what you're doing will help to alleviate, those struggles. And so I am very much on the same page as the women and my husband, who's very involved also with our kids. Like I wouldn't be able to do any of it without his support, without the support of the women that help me take care of my children, without the support and understanding of my Terez team, that I'm a mother as well, and the support of my children that get so excited for me to come out with different things. I think, I think that is what keeps you going. But is there a balance? Again, there is not a balance.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
So that's a lie people have been telling us.
Yeah, there is not a balance because you're going to pick and choose.
Yeah.
And you're going to choose something. And as you choose something, you're making that your priority. And that means something else is no longer your priority and that ball is going to drop. So what are you going to do next? Okay, I'm going to pick up that ball now and I'm now going to make that my priority. Something else is going to drop. So you need to be okay. And it takes a long time, but you will get to a point where you feel okay with balls dropping because the priorities that you are choosing are the right ones for you, for your business, for your family. There's only one you. No one's going to do it like you do it. And no one's going to be the mother that you are. And that is what's going to make you feel good. And that's what's going to fuel everything that you do.
Wow. Thank you.
I'm serious.
I mean, that's like so incredibly impressive and like so honest and real. So I really appreciate that.
I'm very, if you can't tell, I'm a very honest and real
no,
person.
because we're always fed, like I feel like women and like female founders or anyone like that wants to be successful in their career, it's like, okay, you have to like either sacrifice your career or make the sacrifice and like not like have the family that you want to have,
I mean, it's like, listen, you're an entrepreneur, right? So, tell me about your daily life as an entrepreneur. Okay, let me tell you. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, today is going to be a great day. And then by 9 a.m. I get an email that literally everything is on fire at the office. I was like, oh, I guess we're not going to be in business anymore. And then by 1, something great happens. Maybe you get a PR story, maybe you get a great order and you're like, oh, amazing. I know why I'm doing this again. And then by 4 o'clock, no longer are you going to be in business the rest of the day. You can't even pay your overhead anymore. You're like, how can I see, 6 months, a year down the line? And then in between that, you have pickup, you have drop off, you have arguments, with your partner, and you have activities, you have meltdowns, you have tantrums, and you need to talk to your children about how to be kind, nice, wonderful people that are going to be the future of our world and save the world. So
yeah, totally.
Then you go to sleep and you start all over again.
Right.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're all going to be okay because here we are talking to one another, having a lovely conversation on a beautiful day in New York City. Mm-hmm. And tomorrow it's going to rain.
Yeah. It's true.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the whole point, right, of Terez? Look for the good parts of life, those moments. Celebrate the little wins, celebrate the big wins, and celebrate them in a really amazing, big way. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Right.
You know, why not? Because things are going to happen and they're going to be horrible. They're going to be horrible. Personally, professionally, you're going to get through them. Even at the time, like foot and mouth, like you don't feel like you're going to.
Right.
But you either can choose not to and you can live in that sorrow, or you choose to pick yourself up, surround yourself with people that are good, that have aligned values, you know, that believe in the same things that you do, and you will live to celebrate another day.
Hey everyone, Olivia here. Hope you're enjoying our episode. Our Clear Cut collection features fine jewelry pieces inspired and designed with you in mind. Our collection is ever-changing and each piece is handmade and made to order here in New York City. Don't forget to check it out and use the code COZY, C-O-Z-Y, for free shipping on any purchase. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about jewelry. If that's okay.
I had all of my stuff at home, but it's okay.
We can always talk about it.
Yeah, I can talk. I love talking.
So obviously we're a jewelry company, and I think jewelry is super cool because sometimes, you know, you can pass it down and holds like sentimental, emotional, you know, meanings. Do you have like any pieces of jewelry that are like extra special to you?
So if you couldn't tell already, I'm an extraordinarily sentimental person. All my pieces, even what I'm wearing right now, they all have meaning to them. But I believe in having meaning, and I don't, it's very interesting that you say that, but with jewelry, I don't ever really buy pieces just to buy pieces. Mm-hmm. They all have to have a meaning or come from somewhere. My mother's jewelry is something that I hold and cherish very fondly. On me now is, I have here, so this actually, this earring right here.
Super
this
cool.
Was my, these were my sisters that were given to her by my grandmother. So it was my grandmother's that was given to my sisters that was given to me. Mm-hmm. So that is very meaningful to me. This long cuff was my brother-in-law's, here, follow this. My brother-in-law's ex-girlfriend, who's lovely and we're still friends, started her first jewelry company years and years ago. And this was the first piece that she made. And I've worn it ever since. And then this top earring is actually something that, this is a brand new one and a brand new hole from the fall, where we were doing a trunk show with a lot of other brands, and I got myself and all of the Terez team the same earring. So we all have this earring together. This one, it's, yeah, and this one too. That's what this green one is from, that one too. This right here is from my husband. I love color.
Yeah.
And so this was an anniversary gift. And I have a lot of friends that are in the jewelry business. So one of my friends, this is from her. Mm-hmm. She made me this with all of my children on it as well as this. This is a different one of my friends. So this is my friend Alexa Lee. This is my friend Darian Ablon, D-Made. And then these are my other friend, Ashley. So hers is Atlas Fine Jewelry that made these. So I love supporting my friends. And then this is Marlo Laz. And this has a very unique message about luck. And, you know, and so is that everything? I got everything.
Yeah.
I got everything that I'm wearing. But oh no, that's not true. This is my wedding band that I never take off, so I'm not going to take it all the way off. But my my husband has one, and I have one that we wear, and mine says "All My Love," and inside his says "All My Life," and I never ever take this off.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's really actually that's very sweet. But usually I wear my mother's. I had like this whole thing, but I change my necklaces a lot of the time, and one of them is one of my most sentimental pieces, actually. As I had mentioned, my mother passed away when I was pregnant with my son, and she, always loved praying mantis. And people think about butterflies when people pass away, and like they come back as butterflies. And I always said that she would come back as a praying mantis. Maybe she'll eat her children. She loves us, because praying mantis are known for that. And it's a very, unique insect. And so during, I think it was her birthday. I don't know if it was the anniversary of when she passed or her birthday. But my husband, got me a diamond necklace in the shape of a praying mantis through someone else that I went to college with, Stephanie Gottlieb. But so I always like to support people that I know and, that are doing amazing things, because we need to support one another. But she created this piece that is so unbelievable and means so much and so special. I don't think anyone has ever asked her to make a praying mantis diamond necklace before, but I have one and it's fantastic. But, I believe that jewelry holds energy, and it transcends time. I mean, you live this. This is what you're like, I don't need to tell you. But for somebody that's not in the jewelry business, it's something that I truly value and I find extraordinarily special. And I try to be very thoughtful every single time I, get a new piece and what it means and why I'm wearing it.
Totally. I have a fun diamond game if you want to play it.
Of course I want to play. Am I not? Oh, you're gonna ask me shapes and see if I know them?
No.
Okay, I got very nervous for a second.
Oh no, this is not a quiz. This is just personal preference.
Oh, fun.
So basically, you're a native New Yorker.
Sure am.
So I have a bunch of different style rings and just wanted to see what New York neighborhood or, type of person, what kind of New Yorker would each ring be for?
Oh, okay. Ready. So I didn't grow up in Manhattan. I grew up in Long Island.
We can use Long Island.
No, that's fine.
Too.
I grew up. We can talk about this, but I grew up in Atlantic Beach, a little surfer town.
We're not limited to the 5 boroughs.
Okay, I'm not gonna get judged.
No.
All right, we'll do it. This is fun. So fun until someone's feelings get hurt.
It's not serious.
Olivia, I'm kidding.
So we'll start with a softball one.
Okay.
So this is an emerald cut. It's about 5 carats, just set in platinum with tapered baguettes.
This is beautiful. I'll keep this. Do I do it in the beginning, during it? Can I see them all first and then decide? Or no, this is not how the game goes. Okay. All right. Upper East Side.
Okay, why?
Gosh, how am I going to put this? I think that this is beautiful and classic, and I think Upper East Side women appreciate classic, traditional things, and I think this would fit beautifully on their finger.
Perfect. Next, we have an old European cut diamond, so an antique stone set in an antique solitaire bezel setting.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so I'm gonna say, so this reminds me of, who does this go through? So where in the city? I'm not gonna say where in the city, but this is for all of the Burning Man weddings. So it's for all of the artistic, you know,
Brooklyn, maybe?
not well, so my best friend has a, you know, that I grew up with, who's happens to, you know, go to Burning Man every single year, has a ring like this. And, you know, they don't believe as much in like buying new things as it is taking old and modernizing them and make them new. So I don't want to, you can say Brooklyn, but that's what you could say Brooklyn. You can say the East Village or something, you know, but
Someone like cool.
someone real cool, like me. But but I love this one too. See, this transcends generations.
It does. Next, we have a
Oh my god.
quite large, fancy yellow radiant cut set with trapezoid side stones.
Oh my god, I love this. It's for me. So unique, different. Hollywood,
Yeah.
right? Like, isn't this? It's
like a J-Lo
I was gonna
styling or
say this is
something,
like
yeah.
J-Lo. This is
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say. But like, we wish we would wear this here, but we won't. Like, this is what California will wear this.
Or I feel like a really fancy old lady.
Yeah, like this can be, you know, or
Palm
your
Beach or
fifth,
something.
in Palm Beach would be great, or your fifth marriage, fourth marriage.
Yeah.
You know, being like, now it doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Thanks.
Like this is, you know, like this is what I've always wanted, and I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And like that's great. Or you've been together for fourth marriage.
Yeah. And
This is fun.
here's an 8-carat oval, and it's in just a platinum pave solitaire.
West Village.
Why?
West Village / Tribeca. That's down where I live. And, you know, we down there like think we're being different, you know, and like different from living in the rest of the city. But, you know, we want to be classic, but a little bit unique and different in our own way that is cool. So it's a way of wearing something that will still be very much accepted, but in our unique, cool way.
Got it. I agree. And last but not least,
There's more.
Last but not least, this is a 4-carat Asher cut set with a double pave frame.
Long Island, which is where I grew up.
Yes.
It's just where I grew up. More is more is more. The show's like he loves me or she loves me very, very much. And do you know how much they love me? And isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
So where can we continue to follow, shop?
Well, definitely follow us online on Instagram at Terez. You can also shop online. Oh, this is fun at www.terez.com. And also, because you have to follow our TikTok because it's pretty fantastic. It's Terez.nyc.
Perfect.
You can follow me too. I'm fun sometimes.
Where can we follow you?
Zara Tisch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See my kids and my dogs and, you know, what I do. And this today.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for
Thank you,
joining
Olivia,
us. This was so
and
much fun.
Continue, like, you're a kick-ass. Continue doing everything that you're doing. This is amazing that you're doing. You're not only doing that, you have like there's another business basically.
Yeah.
Like you've decided, you're like, oh, I'm not going to just do that. I'm also going to do this too. See? You're not balancing it.
No, I have zero balance.
Yeah. Right? Chose to do this over something else. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. That was such a fun and inspiring conversation, and I love how Zara talked about how jewelry holds energy and sentimental value. What is your favorite piece of jewelry, and what does it mean to you, and why?